Durag Diaries, and Tottenham are finally making moves. They're looking to make a 40 million euro bid for Jan Bisseck. Just as we get rid of one Biss, we've got another one supposedly coming in. The 6'4" centre-back who hails from Inter Milan. Tottenham have made him our number one target for this summer's replacement of potential Romero or backup. He may be a backup too. When you actually look at Bisseck for a defender, he plays in a back three, but he tends to deputize either on the right side and the left side, depending on where Bastoni and Skriniar are set up. He's versatile, but he is right-footed and was one of the key players for Inter Milan in their season last year, appearing 46 times across all competitions. When you talk about the way that he plays, he's a very modern defender, and you can understand why Inter Milan's defensive record was so strong last year. He's physically, as I said, 6'4". We've got another Van de Ven potentially coming. He's 6'4" and he's fast. He's quick for his size. Tends to be a titan in the air, dominating aerially, bullies people when it comes to clearing the ball. And like I said, for his size, he's very nimble. He's got those long strides and he can cover ground really well. One thing that I think attracts Tottenham to him more than anything, though, is the composure on the ball and the press resistance that he has at the back. He's a modern-day centre-back, adept at building out from the back, and he uses his strength to shield possession and make progressive passes, can move the ball forward pretty well. And also, like I mentioned, when you talk about the tactical side of things, he can play in a back three, he can play in a back four, he plays on the right, he plays on the left. Some may say he's suited to a high line system due to his pace, stature, and his adaptability, but he can play in multiple systems. So when you actually look at it tactically, he's good for all types of managers that you would want to bring into Tottenham, whether it's going to be Thomas Frank, whether it's going to be Ange, whether it's going to be Silva, whichever manager is going to be looking at staying long term. It could be any one of these systems that he is adept for. He relishes in the 1v1 battle, being one of those players that love to get physical, love to actually get in there with a defender and fire out. But 40 million euros is the so-called transfer fee that they are looking for, which isn't bad. It's not bad at all. When you look at some of the other centre-back options Spurs have been looking at, whether it's Branthwaite at around £65 million, Mark Gahey at around £70 million, Viako Tomori, who's probably cheaper at around £20 to £25 million, there's a long range of fees. He comes smack bang in the middle, but brings the quality that some of these other players don't have. I'm going to share my screen to show you guys the comparison between him and Romero last year, who played very similar minutes. So I felt like this would probably be the best player to compare him to. But as you can see here, when you look at, obviously, Romero's a few years older than, but he's only 24 years of age. He just completed his second season at Inter Milan, moving over from Argos GF. Don't really know who that team is, but he only moved for 7 million euros in his initial move and played a bit last season, but worked his way into that first team this season. He has also just had a call up for the Germany national team a few months ago, so you can see the progression that he's making in his career at this moment in time. So now when you look at the percentiles, you can see the similarities between him and Romero and as to why Tottenham would be looking at bringing him in. When you look at the data board here, you can see he's the blue, Romero's the pink. They're very similar in their carrying, their passing, and their forward passing stats. But what he does excel in and where he is better than Romero at is in the dual percentages and the aerial percentages. So when you look at the numbers, the passing, as I said, very similar, 88 and 87. Forward passing, 91.2 as opposed to 79.9. Progressive passes. This is where Romero is probably one of the best centre-backs in world football, up there when it comes to progressive passes. So his numbers are extremely high at 92.6. And defensive actions, again, Romero's a very high defensive action player. He steps forward. He's one of the first defenders that you meet whenever you are defending, whenever you are a striker. You need to get past Romero before you get past Van de Ven or someone else. So defensive actions is very high. But when you look at the defensive duels, this is where there's a complete flip on either side, because the defensive duel percentage, Jan Bisseck wins a lot more as opposed to Romero at 7.4. Aerially, he trumps Romero. Romero is actually decent in the air offensively. Now, defensively, that's where a lot of his problems lie. He gets beaten in the air, he gets bullied. You just have to look at the Ipswich goal, the Brighton goal, and a few other goals like that early in the season to see where Romero struggled. And progressive carries, they have very, very similar numbers. So you can understand, looking at these numbers, why Spurs are linked to Jan Bisseck and why he is considered one of the top targets for us this summer. 40 million euros, as we said, is not too bad. It may take away from Spurs going in to put that money elsewhere, but no doubt about anything, we need a centre-back. We need someone to come in with proven quality that can either act as a backup for Romero, because obviously we know we have done so, but we also have Mickey Van de Ven, so we need a backup for Van de Ven who's competent, because Ben Davies is not good enough, and Vuskovic is going to need some time. So he can be that backup for either side. But also, we just need someone who has this all-round ability to play multiple tactical formations. So for me, when I look at it, you've got a player who's strong in the air, he's fast, he's got quick recovery speed, he's good on the ball, he can progress it forward, he's a strong passer, he's, as I said, tactically flexible. And then, as we said, we look at it there, aerially, he's dominant. We know the one thing we've been killed with this season is Romero and Van de Ven not being able to win their defensive duels and headers. So I think this could potentially be a top signing for Tottenham. He has the ability to improve. He's only 24 years of age, so he's still on that rapid projection of growth, can still steadily progress throughout the years. So I feel like when you're looking at someone being a potential rotation option or taking that step to being that first team option, he could be the guy. He could definitely be the guy. And I think with the blend of skills that he has, for me, definitely think this could be a serious signing. If it's not Spurs, I've heard West Ham are also rumored to be in for him, as well as I think I saw another Premier League team, maybe Manchester United. A few Premier League teams are in for him. So let's see what happens with this one. But big up to you for watching the video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you haven't already, as you can see over here. New logo settings. Let me know what you think in the comment section. More than anything, make sure you are liking on the video. Tell your friend to tell a friend to tell their marsh, to tell their dad, to tell their granddad. Subscribe to Durag Diaries. And if you want to show your extra support, you can scan this QR code next to me. Buy me a coffee. My shit's empty. So please help a nigga out. Help a bro out. You know what I mean? But until next time, this has been your Durag Diaries transfer news, and we will be back. Peace.